Every year in February or March, the California almond orchards burst into blossom. The pink and white flowers color the valley for a few weeks before dropping their petals and enduring the heat of summer in the Sacramento Valley. Almonds, or almonds as they're called here in Northern California, are a popular tree nut which have seen an increase in demand in the last 2 decades. No matter the metric, the commodity has been on the rise. For California, the blossom is a sign of the beginning of spring. It's a sight worth seeing, and many of us in the area take to driving through the orchards to see the spectacle each year. But for the almond grower, the blossom is more than just a beautiful view. It's a short window for pollination. Successful pollination and favorable weather lead to larger yields and a healthier crop. Every fertilized flower will turn into an almond. But the crop wouldn't be viable without the unsung hero of pollination, the honeybee. While foraging in the orchard, the honeybee pollinates the almonds in exchange for pollen and nectar. This bucket list experience was all about seeing a beekeeping operation and walking through a swarm of bees unstung, both of which were accomplished. It was also an introduction to California's robust agricultural industry, where almonds are near the top of the list for domestic production, and as an international export comprise 80% of the world's supply. What is most interesting to me is the rise of almond sales in recent years. The variety of almond products are many and include items such as plain almonds, flavored almonds, almond milk, almond butter, almond extract, almond yogurt, almond creamer, and almond ice cream, which is actually pretty good. The Mediterranean climate and mild winters are the reason the bees come from sunny California, and after the blossom go on to pollinate over 90 other crops in the United States. But for the almonds, the importance of the bees can't be overstated. So I called up family friends who run a beekeeping business. The Conans were kind enough to give me a tour of their facility and share about their day-to-day. Their business includes the pollination of local almond orchards as well as the breeding and online sale of queen bees. I visited in spring after the pollination of the orchards and during the peak season for breeding queens. After being bred, the queens are shipped across the country in small boxes to hobbyist beekeepers or boutique growers. They are then used to requeen hives for either honey production or pollination efforts. During the off-season, the Conans keep the bee population viable and fight off environmental threats in preparation for the pollination of the almond orchards, where the cycle of the agricultural year begins again. Equipped with protective gear complete with a flower-patterned veil, I went out to the yard to see the bees. No sudden movements was the warning I was given. As if the sound of bees buzzing past your ears isn't scary enough, I was told that the bees like to go for the eyes, so I kept my veil on. The Conans raise 2 types of bee, Cordovan Italian and Carniolan. Each has specific characteristics and are better suited to different regions of the United States. When a hive of honeybees doesn't have a queen, they rush to create one. The eggs are laid into cell cups and fed what's called royal jelly by the worker bees. It's high in protein and simple sugars and helps to create a queen. When the cell cups are removed from the hive, the bees are literally shaken off from the frame, which is then taken inside for grafting. Inside, each larva is grafted one by one into the honeycomb of another hive. It's taken back to the yard and placed in a cell builder hive. Removing a frame from an active hive requires the use of a smoker, which calms the bees. The frames in the cell builders are the artwork of the bees. After brushing away the workers, the structure of the honeycomb is revealed. This is where the queen larva is grafted. Next is the incubator at 92 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 days. The larva is then transported out into the fields, baby nukes as they're called, where the queen hatches, mates, and then is collected to be shipped across the country. A hive is made up of anywhere from 10,000 to 60,000 honeybees. For the almond orchards, 1 to 2 hives are placed per acre, depending on the land. If the bees are placed in the sunlight, they get moving faster in the morning and pollinate more flowers. Favorable weather in the spring allows for increased flight time for the bees and ultimately the successful pollination of the crop. Within a few weeks of when the flowers drop, the almonds can be seen on the trees. They grow through the summer and are ready for harvest come mid-August. Here are a few statistics on the value of California almonds. So assuming average tree spacing, 141 trees per acre, a 40-acre orchard, 2,200 pounds yielded per acre, and $2.50 per pound of almonds. The value of 1 almond tree in an orchard is $39 annually. 1 acre is $5,500 annually. 1 orchard is $220,000, and the value of a 40-acre orchard over a 25-year lifespan could be as high as $5.5 million. And if that's not enough, the state of California's 2018 almond crop boasted $5.5 billion in cash receipts, all thanks to the bees. So when you eat almonds, they most likely come from sunny California, and it all wouldn't be possible without the honeybee. Hey everyone, Jason here. Thanks for checking out Explore Butte County's YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and to keep up to date with all the things that are going on here in Butte County. I hope to see you next year for the almond blossom, or as we call them here in Northern California, almonds. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.